Good morning, sunshine, and welcome back to another episode of Shine Buzz Daily, where it's all about raising your vibration and taking inspired action to create the life that you want. And today we're going to talk about something kind of controversial, sort of. There has been a lot of talk recently about how the law of attraction is just all about narcissists and getting material things and stuff like that. And I can certainly see people using the law of attraction in that way. However, I like to think there's more to it than that, and I am positive that it's not just all about material things and toxic people. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why in this video. So let's catch a shine buzz! Henry Ford once said, "Whether you believe you can do a thing or not, you are right." That quote, along with many other famous quotes by famous people, all seem to refer to the law of attraction. Skeptics will tell you that the law of attraction is just a bunch of hocus-pocus. Some of them will even claim they tested the law and it just doesn't work, even though many quantum physicists, teachers, and philosophers say otherwise. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, some people will tell you it's just a bunch of narcissistic, materialistic BS. But here's the thing. The law of attraction is one of 12 universal laws that are unchanging. These include, number one, the law of oneness, which essentially means that everything and everyone is connected. Number two, the law of energy, which basically states that everything from people to things are made of energy, and that's what that's about. The law of energy is also known as the law of vibration, meaning that the energy in the world comes in all different types of vibrational strengths and frequencies, and that energy and vibrations are constantly being sent out to the universe, so the law of energy is always going on, it's always in motion. Number three is the law of action, meaning that you need to take steps toward your goals to manifest them. You can't just sit around and wait for stuff to happen. An example of this is if you're feeling angry and you slam the door. And even though you might not want to feel angry, slamming the door sort of reinforces and empowers that anger. You're sort of supporting your emotion by doing that. Number four is the law of correspondence, which kind of goes along with as above, so below, but basically means whatever's happening on the inside of you is manifesting on the outside of you on some level. So whatever you're consciously and subconsciously feeling and believing is what's creating your reality. Number five is the law of cause and effect. And that says that events don't happen coincidentally. You do whatever you do and that causes the effects or the outcome of whatever it is that you're doing. So everything in your life technically happens for a reason, even if you can't understand what the reason is at the moment. Of course, the law of cause and effect can also be related to concepts like karma. Number six is the law of compensation, which is kind of like an extension of the law of cause and effect, except that whatever you put out there comes back to you, is what it basically means. So if you do good stuff comes back to you. If you do bad stuff, you'll be compensated appropriately. The thing about that is this kind of negates the idea that the law of attraction can only be used by evil people. Number seven is the law of attraction, the most well-known universal law. And essentially what that is stating is that from what you speak to what you believe to your actions, everything you put out there is coming back to you in some form. It's like your job, your responsibility to create the life you want. And it's also your right and responsibility to accept or reject the opportunities that are given to you by the universe or God or whoever you see that as. Energy is always happening, it's always going, it's always in motion, and you just choose whether you go with the flow or you change it. Number nine is the law of relativity. And basically what this means is that everything that happens, every obstacle in life is an opportunity to choose to change or not, and that everything in the universe is essentially neutral. It just exists. It isn't necessarily good or bad, but it's all relative. Side note, these little tests that come at us, these little obstacles, also give us the opportunity to learn how to not judge other people and not stay focused on things that we can't control. This has been a difficult thing for me in my life, but I've been smacked by the law of relativity more than once. Number 10 is the law of polarity, which basically states that everything in the universe has an opposite. In a way, this kind of helps us understand the difference between negative and positive thoughts and the idea that we can change our thoughts if we choose to. Number 11 is the law of rhythm, which essentially states that everything in the universe has a rhythm and flow to it naturally, and that these different rhythms can sort of develop into habits and patterns and cycles, and then we can choose to maintain those or to break those and change things. So in a way, it also encourages us to kind of go with the flow when it's appropriate to do that. And I always say I'd rather see you flowing than fighting, and flowing toward your greatest good instead of the other stuff. Finally, the 12th universal law is the law of gender, which is commonly related to the concept of yin and yang. And basically, it It says that there are masculine and feminine energies in life, and we all have the ability to pull from both of those areas. And that everyone and everything need time to nurture and grow so that we can sort of master both the feminine and masculine energies that each of us has. The law of attraction is a universal law that is always in effect, and you can choose to use it to your advantage or not. It's always working whether you believe it or you don't. I'm going to tell you a story about a guy named Ben. He's 32 years old, he's single, and he claims that he desperately wants to find his soulmate and be in a relationship. He really wants to get married before it's too late. He wants to have kids. He's got this whole plan for his life. He walks around telling everybody he's looking for Miss Right. And also that every time he thinks he's found Miss Right, something goes wrong. Something prevents the relationship from continuing. He or she finds a reason that it can't work. Ben says that if the law of attraction worked, he'd already be married by now and have a couple little mini Bens running around. He figures it's all a lie because he's not getting what he wants, even though he wants so desperately to be married. So why isn't the law of attraction working for Ben? Well, the law of attraction is neutral. It doesn't know good, it doesn't know bad, it doesn't know positive, it doesn't know negative. It just is. You don't get what you want, you get what you focus on, what you believe, what you think about, and what you speak about. So when you focus on anything, any particular thing, whether it's good or bad, you're going to attract that into your life. Ben, who claims he wants to get married, but who also focuses on the fact that every relationship he gets into is a failure, well, in fact, he is using the law of attraction successfully. Wait, what? He's using it successfully? What? Really? Really? All right. Take a minute to think about this. Ben is attracting exactly what he's focusing on. He's attracting what he says and thinks and believes is true. I mean, think about it. The vibration that Ben is sending out into the universe is that I want to meet a woman who wants to get married, but every time I meet a woman who wants to get married, the relationship fails. He's vibrating things like, I am a failure in all of my relationships. Every woman I meet is wrong for me. So if you think about it, Ben's getting exactly what he's putting out there. He's attracting what he focuses on, a long line of missed opportunities and unsuccessful relationships. So how can Ben resolve this? What can he do differently to fix this problem? Well, if Ben wants to find Miss Right, he needs to try to focus on using the law of attraction to his advantage. Right now, he's just letting stuff happen to him because of his flawed belief that every relationship he gets into is a failure. So first things first, Ben needs to drop all the negativity about those previous relationships. If they were not toxic relationships, he should focus on the gifts he learned and the lessons he learned and leave the rest behind. And he should forgive his former girlfriends and himself for any negativity that may have been caused inside the relationship. That doesn't mean he needs to go to each girl and say, you're forgiven. No, it's not like that. He simply just needs to release the energy attached to those relationships. If you are or have been in a toxic relationship, just a side note, you may not want to traditionally forgive that person, but eventually you will have to release the energy attached to that which they did to you. And I'll put a video right here for you that talks a little bit more about how to release that energy and be able to move forward. Ben needs to take the time to be grateful for any positives from those relationships and then to release them so that he can move forward. And the next thing Ben needs to do is get really clear on exactly what he's looking for, because right now all he knows is he wants to get married and all his relationships fail. I know this seems a little obvious, but a lot of times we really don't know exactly what it is that we want. So it's really important that you get clear, very crystal clear on exactly what you want. So in Ben's case, maybe he could sit down with a pen and a piece of paper and write a detailed list of the qualities that he's looking for in his ideal woman. In any case, he needs to ask for what he wants very specifically. Put it down on paper and figure it out. Side note, this is actually a really great exercise for anyone who is looking for Mr. or Ms. Right to sit down and write a list of qualities that you're looking for. Not what you're not looking for, only what you are looking for. So instead of saying, I don't want this person to be toxic, you say, this is a healthy person, for example. Back to Ben, he needs to start to believe that the woman that he's looking for is out there and that he will meet her. He needs to feel the feelings of what it would be like to have that woman, what it would be like to get married and have a couple little Bens running around. And in a way, he needs to almost be grateful for her before he meets her. I know that's a hard concept, but it works. He needs to recognize that she is out there just waiting for him to find her. And then he needs to be open to receiving that woman in his life, to meeting that woman in his life. He needs to believe it's possible and that he isn't a failure at all relationships. Maybe he needs to think about the idea that all the relationships before this led up to this one. And then he needs to take inspired action as appropriate. So instead of just passing every woman by on the street that he meets, maybe he needs to talk to people, or maybe he needs to open his mind to the idea of being a little more social in certain situations, or being able to reach out to someone if he finds them attractive and they seem receptive. The thing is, with a simple shift in the way he thinks and the way he speaks to himself and the way he acts, he is able to switch things up and open his mind, open his life for the right person, make space in his life for the right person, and to stop focusing on the fact that he is failing in all of his relationships. He can use the law of attraction to his advantage in this case if he chooses to. But either way, the law of attraction is still working. Well, what do you think about all that? I'll tell you what I think. Wait, come here. Closer. Just a little bit closer. Let me look at you. Oh, yep, yeah. You need some homework, I can tell. So grab your pen, grab your paper, because it's time to read the cards. As usual, we are going to start off with our dialectical behavior therapy deck, which is linked in the description below, but you don't need to buy it because I will share every card with you over the next several weeks. And today, our card is a mindfulness skill, and it reads, "Do what's effective. Changing behavior can be difficult. Doing what's effective means that you act in an appropriate way to achieve your goals, even if it feels uncomfortable or unnatural. Today, be mindful and choose appropriate actions. Avoid judging. Be aware of your body language and just do the best you can." This is a great assignment for today. Do what's effective. And now I do believe it is time for your daily affirmation, which comes from the Gabrielle Bernstein Super Attractor deck. Also linked in the description below, but also you don't need to buy it because I'll be sharing the cards with you, all of them, over the next several weeks. Today's affirmation is a perfect one for today. It says, "To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction." I'm going to say it one more time. To begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let Spirit give me direction. Do you not think this is perfect for today? I think it is. All right, you know what time it is now, right? That's right. It's time for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, do you ever find yourself wishing things in your life were different? Do you ever find yourself thinking that no matter what you do, you're never going to get ahead? Listen, I've been there too. But there's good news. Just like Ben in our story earlier, you can change your life by starting with your mind, changing your perception. So what do you think? How do you feel about the law of attraction? Share your thoughts, share your ideas, share your experiences in the comment section below, and let's talk about it. Real quick, one more assignment for you today. I want you to take a moment and identify just one negative perception that is holding you back today. And I want you to intentionally change that perception, okay? For example, if you want to have more money in your life, stop focusing on the fact that you're broke.
Take inspired action. Do something to change your situation.
And start being grateful for the abundant flow of cash that's about to start coming your way. Be grateful for anything in your life that you have in abundance. You have a little extra groceries in the house, that's abundance. You have more than one pair of clothes to wear, that's abundance. Be grateful for the abundance that you already have, and more comes into your life. Really believe that you're getting what you want. Really expect it to come your way. And I don't mean this in an unhealthy way. I mean, really believe that you can attract opportunities to create abundance for yourself if that is your thing. Remember the old saying, as within, so without. And remember that what you think, say, feel, believe is truly what you do receive in the end. It's not about toxic materialism. It's simply about changing your state of mind, changing your perception, changing the way that you think to allow more good things to come into your life, and to allow yourself to believe that you deserve good things to come into your life. What do you think? If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notifications to be notified of new videos as I post them, or you can send a text that says notify me to 33222, all one word, notify me to 33222 if you would like to have me text you each time I post a new video. And if you want to know when I'm going live each time, you can text Angie Live, all one word, to the same number, 33222. As always, I'm so grateful for you. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your day and a part of your life. And hey, thanks for being a part of mine. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon.